Hi there, welcome to Vlog 11. Not so much of a confession, but actually just a bit of contemplation. And I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet because I got eye strain and I'm sick of you looking at this very bright screen, and which is kind of poor for my eyes. Anyway, so this is kind of my theory of the spiritual path. Which might be ascribed to Gnosticism, I suppose. It has Gnostic connotations to it. So the spiritual path is follows the shape that I've just drawn there. So first of all, you are born, and you are born from the four elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And into this, the soul is drawn as spirit, and there is a melding of spirit and body, a melding of neurological processes, as one might say, and the spiritual essence. And so the first sort of part of this journey, which one might sort of one divides into three sections. This is the first section here. And this first section consists of a lot of experiences, both negative and positive, which are nevertheless signposting you to something other and something greater than yourself, as indeed yourself develops as a result of these experiences. But in actual fact, what is happening is that you are slowly but surely aligning yourself to soul awareness through the experience of the lower worlds, in quotation marks, or the world of the demiurge, whatever. And then at a certain point in one's life, one enters into the second phase, which is where you have certain experiences, one might call them peak experiences, whereby you sort of have a experience like looking through a keyhole, and you look through the keyhole at the reality beyond this one. Now, these experiences, there could be one peak experience, but there are lots of different experiences. But they all are pertaining to the quality of looking through the keyhole and giving you insight, as well as second sight or third sight, or whatever sight you want to look at, however you want to see it. And this is sort of the kind of peak experience, as I said. And then the third section of the spiritual journey is decline of the body and the neurological processes. But in this third stage is a stage of reflection and remembrance. Unconsciously or consciously, you remember the peak experiences of your life, and they give you meaning, and they give you comfort, and they give you perspective as you go into old age. And then finally at death, death is no separation from the elements that gave you life. So the body returns to earth primarily, or to the four elements. But the soul is then liberated, and the soul then begins another journey, which is a journey into the spiritual realm. Because the thing about this keyhole experience, or keyhole experiences, and the sum of these experiences, and this is the great mystery of Gnosis, is that they cause your consciousness to change, even though perhaps you might not be consciously aware of it, and they cause the second journey to arise. So that after death, the fact that you have had keyhole experiences causes your soul to rise above the physical altogether, and to begin another journey into the spiritual realm, or realms which lie far beyond any experiences of this the world of the demiurge, which of course includes the astral world, and a number of other ethereal worlds and esoteric worlds, which nevertheless belong to the demiurge and not to the transcendental state. So you follow these three stages, and at this time of Candlemas, 1st of February, which is Imbolc, of course, one thinks of the lighting of candles, ceremonial lighting of many candles. And each one of these candles can represent a peak experience that you have during your life, one or many, whatever number you have, according to what has happened previously to you. And these lighting of these candles, each candle represents a reflection of the divine, which the spark of your heart center is also a reflection of. And these candles are lit within your consciousness. And eventually, of course, the light from these candles actually causes the great mystery to occur, whereby the light of your soul is united with the ineffable eternal light beyond the realm of the demiurge. So at this time, we think we eat white food, and you dress in white clothes, and you think about whiteness, and you think about the great white speckled with gold as well. So think about various hues of white light which can occur, and these all represent your peak experiences. And of course, at Candlemas and Imbolc, you can also contemplate the four holy words, "I love you, God," because it is love that is attracting you from the first stage to the second stage to the third stage even. It's attracting you through faith and through grace, through the grace of Christ, who is the light of this world. And you're ascending in terms of consciousness, the pathway that leads to freedom, spiritual freedom. Because, of course, from body basically to consciousness and back to body again, but something remains. There is a unity between soul consciousness and a certain part of consciousness that we have today, now, at this present time and present dimension. And the unity between these two is what affects the unity between soul and God, as above, so below. So that's the theory, and that's that's my theory anyway. And of course, you could say that, well, maybe there isn't any God, and maybe there isn't any soul, but you're still left with the peak experiences. You have these peak experiences during your life, and even if you sink down or you return to the elements that gave you life, and there is no soul and there is no God, you cannot deny the reality of these peak experiences, and you cannot deny the meaning that they impart to you during the third stage of your life, which is one of reflection and remembrance. So rather than going into old age with bitterness and regret, you're going into old age and going back to the elements that gave you life, with meaning and joy and contentment, and with a sense of attainment, I guess, as well. So there's a message here for atheists as well as for theists, as well as to agnostics. So it is a universal message, this gospel, this good spell, this good news, even if you wish to, however you wish to interpret it. But however, as a theist, I do interpret a personal God, as in the throne, as in the Christ throned at the center of the infinite bliss. Sit Satananda. There is this personal God in the midst of the eternal, ineffable light. and your light will join up with the light. So the particular will unite with the general. A light joins with the light, and it will be delight, and it will be all right, etc. And not a fight, and flying a kite. But anyway, enough of all that. So this is just and I suppose I'm relating it to my own life, because it seems to me that I have through my life had various stages, various pointer experiences, let us say, various peak experiences, and even experiences of remembrance. So I'm not saying that this is a linear path. I'm actually saying that this path follows, it's actually in a circle. And you're going to go from peak experience to remembrance to pointer experience. You're going to have these three categories of experience, not in a linear way, but in actually quite maybe a circular way, or even a spiral way. So perhaps we can think of it not as a linear path, as I've drawn it here, but as a spiral. And you're going to have the three categories of experiences. You spiral out from matter into spirit. Anyway, so that's my contemplation for this Candlemas 2020, and I hope it sort of inspires you. And as I say, it is a message that goes out to people that believe in a personal God, or people that don't believe in a personal God, or don't believe in anything, or just believe in an impersonal Brahmin kind of idea, I suppose, or sort of Buddha nature, let us say. And it doesn't matter how you interpret it. It's not going to be that I hate you for not being a theist. That would be extraordinarily stupid, dumb thing to do. And I hope that people don't hate me for being a theist. So we can all be on this earth and be in this dimension, and agree to differ on our interpretation and our views, and that's okay. In fact, it's all okay, really, because basically it's win-win. We win either way. We have these peak experiences, we have these pointer experiences, we have these experiences of remembrance and reflection, and that's basically perhaps all that we can ever hope to have in the existential sense. Even if you're an existentialist and have no spiritual leanings yourself. So the Gnosis, that's my particular Gnosis anyway, on this day of Imbolc, and blessings at Imbolc, and I hope you have a good day today, and a good weekend, and of course Candlemas tomorrow, for Sunday, for those who are GMT anyway, and have a good one. Thanks very much.